Okay, today we're out here by the mosque, the Muslim mosque in Richland, and they're in the process of adding 10,000 square feet to this mosque. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Part of it has to do with like a convention center or something for probably Ramadan, when they have big services and stuff. And we've got some signs here today to address the issue of Islam. Of course, the big issue is they spread lies about Jesus Christ. Now, Muhammad came along a little over 500 years after Christ, and so he really didn't know much about Jesus Christ other than what he had heard. So much of the stuff that's in the Quran about Jesus is all a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and basically just misrepresentation. And the Quran, their holy book, is they've plagiarized a few things out of the Bible, and they've picked up things from the Gospel of Thomas and other pseudepigrapha, false literature, basically rumors. So we're going to stand out here with some signs and see what happens. Well, you may have noticed the message on my hat. Infidel, that's what I am. The Arabic underneath that is kafir, which means I'm an infidel, I'm an unbeliever, that I don't believe that Muhammad is a legitimate prophet. So anybody that knows Arabic right away, they're going to see that. I had one imam years ago. He was giving us a tour of his mosque, and I was wearing his hat. He says, "Do you know what that means on your hat?" And I said, "Yeah, it means I don't believe that Muhammad's a prophet of God." And he went, "Oh." He says, "Okay." So they just thought I was wearing it out of ignorance. You might have noticed we have an Israeli flag hanging on the back of our truck. Now, Jesus was a Jew, of course, and God made lots of promises to the Jews regarding the nation of Israel. And when the temple was destroyed in 70 AD, the Bible says the Jews would be scattered all over the planet until the end of the age of the Gentiles. And Muslims have built a mosque on top of the ancient Jewish temple foundation. And so they've been occupying Jerusalem since about the 6th century. And we have issues with that. So when people say that Jews are occupying Israel, that's always been their land, dating back to thousands of years before Christ. So what's going on with the Hamas and all of that? It's just the Muslims, they win through intimidation. They like to harass people, and if they can't pressure you through intimidation, then they cut your throat. So the Muslims took over Constantinople in 1453, turned the largest church in the world into a mosque. That's in Turkey, Istanbul, we call it today. And then in 711, they invaded Spain, which was called Iberia back in those days. And Spain had to put up with Muslims until 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. You can remember that date. Now, Ferdinand and Isabella, they drove out the Muslims. They drove out a lot of Jews as well, because the Jews oftentimes were in cahoots with the Muslims, and it had a lot to do with their denial of the Trinity. The Jews didn't want to have anything to do with the Trinity or the Son of God, and of course the Muslims believe the same thing. So that's kind of what we're dealing with today over in Israel. The Shiite Muslims, a very militant bunch, they want to wipe Israel off the map. And Americans know the history, and of course Christians know the history, and so we want to stand up for them. Now, that doesn't mean the Jews are always right. They've made plenty of mistakes, and a lot of them don't believe in Jesus. So they've got some issues. So we're going to stand out here and give them something to think about. Howdy.